T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. This is one of those moments where I buy something just to do it on my channel. And because I'm interested. But this is McFarlane Designer Edition. Manga Spawn right there. If I'm not mistaken, the Designer Edition is when Todd McFarlane makes up a sketch of a character and then it becomes an action figure like he did for Wonder Woman not too long ago. I don't think this character actually exists in the comics, but I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. Maybe there's a version of this, because I did see pictures of when I looked up Manga Spawn, but it didn't look like this per se. But anyway, I just found it at Target. You could probably find it at Target too. They seem to be the first place to get things when it comes to McFarlane Toys. Oh, yeah. Here he is out of the packaging. This is the base form without the accessories, besides this sword that comes pre-attached. But there you go with this. I didn't know it even had a cape inside. It's a thin piece of fabric. Let's let you see this though. That's what his back is working with right here. And here's this side. Make sure that's all the way on the camera. So as you can see, they did a good job with the silver paint. Overall, as far as the way it looks, the fact that this blue plastic is just straight up just blue plastic with no paint on it, it just looks so uninteresting and toy-y. This is one of McFarlane Toys Deluxe figures, meaning it was 40 bucks. That's typically what the deluxe price is. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm having brain farts. Am I gonna leave this in the video? Yes, I am. But I guess the paint budget went to all these accessories. First of all, he comes with this shield right here that does have the Spawn logo in there. It's amazing how well logoed up he is for a hell demon or the spawn of Satan or whatever. You get this knife right here, and it does have like a plug right here. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it into the leg, or at least attempt to, and have it like at the ready so you can just grab it. He has another longer sword. I'm guessing it's all made out of this green transparent plastic that's pliable and painted. So the weapons have a ton of paint, but I think they should have used some of that budget on the wash. You get this sword right here. That has some nice silver on the handle. I've gotten swords like this before through Hasbro, where the whole sword will be mostly transparent and things like the handle wouldn't even be painted. So this is cool. All of them pliable. Next off, we have this long spear. It is very tall. As you can see, it's almost as tall as him. The only green you have showing here is right here on the edges right there, but it is crazy detailed. Yeah. And then we have another scythe spear type weapon, where this is showing in that little piece right there as far as the green. But all of them are made out of pliable plastic. McFarlane team, please, for the love of God. And these are for 14 up. These aren't even in the kiddie section. Please stop making these things out of pliable plastic. Like, you can't even let it sit for like 2 seconds before they start warping. But anywho, as you can see, these have these things on the end. It's not really designed to go there, but this is a thing that you can do. They're loose. No, I'm not even going to sit here and say you can do that. Here's what you're really supposed to do. Here's the back. You take the weapon of your choice, either the spear. I'm going to put the spear there. Then we could put the more scythe type weapon right here. The holes are at a different length so they can overlap, and then the sword can go here. So now he has every single accessory on his body. Now this sword right here, it's still pliable, but it's not as gummy as those other weapons. If you want to, you can wiggle, pull that off. Because then when you make him hold one of these accessories, it won't look so awkward with that sword hanging out of his arms. Like, he kind of doesn't need any other weapons, but it's spawned, so yeah. Here he is with that. I haven't tried to put one of these knives in his hand. Good night. That peg is really good, as you can see. But I'm gonna do it like this. Nope, he's not grabbing that well. And he's not grabbing that well, to be honest with you. This handle seems to be smaller than the other bigger weapons, so I'm not even going to try. I guess they're just for decoration. I'm lying. I'm going to try later. But let's get into this articulation. The head is on a dumbbell, so you can get all types of tilt and whatnot. You can look up, you can look down, and of course rotate and whatnot. It doesn't have a ball at the base of the neck. You get a lot out of this. The shoulder pads are on a dumbbell, so they can lift up, they can kind of rotate and whatnot, but they do bump. If you do more than what I'm doing right now, I would imagine they would pop off. I haven't tried. Both of these do that. I can get it back that far. And this is one of those toys where it's spiky and everything hurts when you move it. So it's almost like not even fun to move around. It doesn't have the typical ball socket or the sock ball that goes into the shoulder. As you see how the shoulder is protruding right here. But it does have this. It can go out 90 degrees without this interfering with that. It can go that far, go this far. You get the bicep swivel. And you get a single jointed elbow, and it has spikes on the elbow. Both of them are like that. The wrists are universal, but as you can imagine, with all this stuff in the way, it is kind of difficult to get that ball joint where you need it to be. And I see the joint is bigger. No, I'm lying. I'm making that up. The ball joint is big, but I thought it had it was made different from the typical, and it's not. Diaphragm joint. This is how much crunch you get forward, which is basically neutral stance. When you get back that much, you get a tiny bit of tilt, and of course it can rotate off of that. The legs can kick out to the side that much, can kick back a lot, but here's what I hate. Normally with a McFarlane Toys figure, this part would be just a diaper piece and made out of very pliable plastic, and then they would have a secondary ball joint so that not only this rotates, but the bottom of the waist or the abdomen would rotate. They didn't do that. This is all like a harder plastic, so basically he can kick forward that much. I can try to negotiate the leg to be like this, but yeah, not being able to kick forward murders this experience for me like you don't know what. But it actually does have thigh swivel, unlike a lot of the figures, because the thighs are so high up. So there's that. It has double jointed knees, but I'm not gonna lie, this one is on my copy is kind of loose at the bottom, and because of the shape of the knee. I mean, you still can get more than 90 degrees. That kind of still equals out to be 90, but now I'm looking at it. I'm trying to look at it, that might be more than 90 degrees. Let's try this leg. It's roughly the same thing, but with the fact that he can't kick forward, it didn't even matter whether he had double jointed knees or not. But the only way you can get him in like a forward motion kind of looking stance is if you cheat and have the legs out like this. I haven't had to deal with something like this in a minute. Like, my older toys would have weird articulation, and I would come up with poses like this to kind of fake it and make myself feel good about what I'm doing. But yeah, as a universal in the ankle, you can kick down a lot, not so much up. And you get the ankle pivot and you can rotate. And this right here is a pliable piece. This part right here, unfortunately, I mean, it is kind of pliable, but not a lot. The foot can come down a ton, and that's what that looks like. You can rotate like this, rotate like that, and if it wasn't blocked, it could swivel. But yeah, this thing is frustrating for me. Let me say that. Let me do this, because sometimes I get randos on my channel and they aren't used to me, or maybe they have been watching me for a while and they still aren't used to honesty on my channel. I don't crap on every toy. I have a good time with most of the things I buy, but in this case, here's what I'm gonna say. If you like the way this looks and you don't pose your action figures, then this is an awesome figure. It's worth what they are charging. It has a soft goods cape. It has 7 weapons, so you can put them in different poses or put different weapons in the hands and whatnot. And yeah, you can just have him looking different with accessory wise while he's just standing here stoically, and that's good. But if you actually like having fun with your figures, you actually like posing, no, I cannot recommend this. It is aggravating, to say the least. Like, the arms are crazy tight while all these spikes are here, so you're digging those spikes into your hands, and then it's still a stiff ass pose. Let's see if I can make them dual wield. I haven't tried that. Yeah, I can do it, but depending on how you have the arms, you'll be twisting the weapons. Like I said, they are super duper soft, and they don't do that with every figure. One of those Witcher figures that I just finally opened, don't get me pronouncing the name wrong, I don't have it in here to look at the actual name, how it's spelled, but the bad guy, the one that looks like a skeleton knight, his sword is actually rigid. It's not this more pliable plastic. But yeah, I'm not having a good time with this. And also, check this out. Like, if this is supposed to be going off of this art right here, they did some liberties. Like, the head is definitely way smaller than what we see in this picture. And the mask kind of even looks different to me. Like, maybe they did that so it could have better mobility. But with that ball joint, it should have still had more mobility. And then I'm looking at other things. This isn't like a one-to-one representation of that image right there. It looks quite a bit different. Like, I'm seeing this feathering look right there. I don't see that right here. It is quite a bit different, to be honest. Like, that's dark right there, and the whole figure is darker. This is like a bright ass blue, and this is a different color. So yeah, if anything, if like you absolutely buy this, if you buy this and absolutely hate it, The good thing about it is it comes with these weapons that you can use on other 6-inch and 7-inch action figures, because they should be able to still hold these. Before I get into that, one other thing that I noticed about this picture is you see how he has a Mr. Sinister style cape where it's segmented? Yeah, I would have rather a hard plastic version of that than what we got. Here are those smaller blades being wielded by G.I. Joe Classified Series Storm Shadow. So that's what that looks like. The last thing I'm going to make him hold is this scythe style weapon right there. I mean, it's a little bit big, but you can wrap the hands around it. Here are various action figures from various toy lines. And here are various Spawn figures. But yeah, I already said how I felt about this thing. So it ain't no need in me rehashing that. You should have been paying attention. If you weren't paying attention and you just skipped to this part, hoping I'd give my final thoughts right here because you didn't feel like listening to me, go back and listen. Anywho, thank you for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should.